How's it going, everyone? In this video, I just want to go over a brief update on the PlayStation Store and the curation of newer titles on the PlayStation 5. Curation is incredibly important, as we've seen on Steam over the years. It's obvious that when you have big budget AAA games, they're going to be pretty easy to find, and people are going to be more so aware of them. But even in that case, you want to curate those games rightly on a storefront. In the case of Steam, they just have so many games that some games just get lost in the shuffle, and there's only so much you can do to get the word out about certain titles, but the PlayStation Store will be bringing forth some updates on the PlayStation 5, and it'll be helping with that. And also, that's on the PS5. We do have a bit of an update on the PlayStation 4. Shipments will no longer be reported by Sony, which is kind of an end of an era, so to speak. We'll talk that at the end of this video. But first up, the PlayStation Store, as noted on Twisted Voxel, will now default to the best-selling selection of games in general, allowing users to view the most popular new titles at the top of the list under the new games category, and they have a screenshot attached as well. You can see that right here. This is also most popular. It's not best-selling, so that is a little bit of a difference, since Multiverses, for example, is going to be categorized in the most popular because everybody's downloading it and a lot of people are playing it, even though not everybody is spending money on microtransactions or whatever the case may be. But it also does a good job of highlighting newer games like Sword and Fairy, prominently featured, Titans, prominently featured, Digimon Survive, prominently featured. You're getting some more games prominently featured on the PlayStation Store, and it is an issue with curation when it comes to a lot of smaller games, indie games, games that just don't have a big promotional budget, and games that aren't, you know, being promoted on big Twitter accounts, big social media pages, and everything like that. That's always gonna be hard to get the word out about it, but a quality storefront, a quality kind of way to know what games the player is into that's viewing the store, and promoting those games accurately and accordingly, that is going to help as much as you can, and it's on the storefront to do that, and ultimately that's going to lead to the storefront making more money as well. So they want to do it, and they're incentivized to do it as much as the indie developers or developers in general would want them to do it. The PlayStation Store is something that, man, if you guys remember back in the PlayStation 3 era, does anybody remember how atrocious the PlayStation Store was? Like, it was laggy, it was janky, just not a good storefront at all. It's obviously seen a lot of evolutions, and honestly, like, the online design of the PS3 left a lot to be desired, and it just seemed like kind of a makeshift way that they slapped some things together to compete with Xbox Live. But nonetheless, at least they are trying more with the storefront, and again, little additions like this might not go and make a colossal difference, but when you combine a bunch of little differences together, that could actually go a long way in the long run. Alright, moving on from that, do you want to talk about the PlayStation 4? As noted by Daniel Mod over on Twitter, Sony is no longer reporting PS4 shipments, which means the final total for the console is 117.2 million as of March of 2022. For reference, only the Game Boy and Game Boy Color, if you combine them like Nintendo does, has sold more at 118.7 million, along with the Nintendo DS at 154 million, and the PlayStation 2 at over 155 million. The Nintendo Switch is currently at 111 million, and it should surpass the PS4, as noted by Daniel Mod. I remember the pre-PlayStation 4 being released, a lot of people were ready to count consoles out for good. Like, if you remember pre-PS4 and people seeing how well the PS4 was selling and how big the demand was, a lot of people were thinking mobile games are the future, and mobile games have definitely made an impact. But it's nice to see that when all is said and done in this PS4 era, this is one of the first eras of gaming that I really followed the financial side of things in. The PS4 has done incredibly well. Did it beat out the PS2? No, the PS2 was just a colossal success, and you have to remember, a lot of people bought the PS2 because it was one of the most effective ways to get a decent DVD player, and that was well before the Netflix era, although you could make the argument, hey, the PS4 was a good way to get a streaming box, but, you know, there's a lot of streaming boxes out there these days. Again, 117 million, that is an incredibly successful number, but it is obvious to see that outside of consoles, the consoles are doing well, but Sony's definitely creating multiple revenue streams now with subscription services, creating games for PC and porting games to PC. So, yes, PC has a market, mobile games have a market, but I feel like the numerical PlayStation entries are going to be here for a long time, and obviously the PS5 doing quite well at this stage of the game as well. But 117 million, again, nothing to be disappointed with, and I think, man, Microsoft really just handed Sony the baton when you talk about going back to 2013 with, Phil Spencer wasn't in charge at that point. But the used games debacle, and then Sony just completely dunked on them with that one used game video. And don't get me wrong, Sony's done some anti-consumer practices as well. They're not completely in the clear, but that was just a complete misfire that really set the table for the PS4. I think was always going to do well, but it definitely got a nice boost with that coming up right away. But that's going to do it for me again in the PlayStation Store, getting a nice curation update. Hopefully that gets the relevant games to the consumers a little bit more efficiently. And Sony no longer reporting PS4 shipments, and that means the final tally is clocking in at 117.2 million, a very good number there. Not the biggest of all time, but still very successful, all things considered. That's gonna do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.